One of the things that I find interesting about homelessness and poverty is that we have no difficulty spending enormous, and I mean enormous amounts of money at the end when things have gone wrong, such as the police system in order to round up people who, if they had their own home or if they got into some problems of some kind, they end up in the judicial system. Very expensive. Police are very expensive, and so they should be. The judges and the whole judicial system, if you have to go through that process, is also very expensive. When people are homeless and when they don't have a lot of money, it also leads to huge health care issues. As we know, health care is very expensive. Doctors, nurses, other professionals, they're very, very expensive. So we have no difficulty spending money at that end, but if you suggest that we spend more money at the early ages, let's say for people who are wanting to have homes or people who have kids and they want to make sure that they're getting good care and they're getting good food, they're getting good housing, they're being taken care of, if we give a lot of money to that, that's like communism. So I think we've got to change our ways because it's costing us one way or another, and why don't we want to make people's lives a little bit better, give them shelter, give them proper food, make sure that they get the stuff that the rest of us get so that we don't have to worry about going into the healthcare system. So that's my thought. I think as soon as we make a fundamental shift, we'll be a lot better off.
Well, in my limited experience with people who don't have a home to go back to, I think it's very, very important that people be provided with security of shelter, security of source of food. These are people, these are our brothers and sisters, and we need to reach out and help them, reach out and know them as our friends.
Hi, my name's Angela, and I have a grave concern about the homelessness here, well, pretty much nationwide. You know, it just makes me really angry that people are on the streets and don't have a place to live. I think that we need more low-income housing for people. There's just not enough. There is so many poor people on the island alone that there's just so much that's being put up for the rich and not enough for the poor. And it just seems to be every time you turn around, something's being taken away from us that are less fortunate in life. And that's all I really have to say.
Unfortunately, in 1993, all federal spending on the construction of new social housing was terminated. By 1996, the federal government transferred responsibility for most existing federal social housing to the provinces. Years of federal government inaction have now resulted in a housing crisis that the United Nations has described as a national emergency.
Hi, my name's Savannah Dean Mayer, and well, my experience with homeless people, I don't know, because my dad's a photographer, and he, I always go with him to help him take pictures of them, and I've talked to some of them too, and I don't know, I feel bad, and I don't think it's good how the cops are just will make them leave places and wake them up at 6 a.m. Even if they have to do that, at least wait till a decent hour. And I don't always feel that comfortable around cops, just because when I've been with my dad, I've been stopped a lot, and just not for good reasons, just because my dad's taken pictures of something that he didn't know about. And then I don't really know how to solve homelessness, but put more money towards it. Don't just spend money on Olympics and stuff. Not that it's bad to have games and stuff, but at least use things that are already built. I don't know. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dean, professional recreationalist. I'm known by also as a photographer. Spend a lot of time out in the street, and there's many issues facing the homeless right now. I think that they need to be treated differently and not as subjects of the police and whatnot. They need to be included in the community. One of the biggest things I think for that is to have any new developments, any developments that are going on as far as housing goes, need to be forced to include a certain element of social housing, supported housing for people. So if you want to build a condo downtown Victoria, 10% of that, 15% of that must be social housing. Then what that'll do is it'll introduce all the homeless, the people with disabilities, the disadvantaged into the community. And once they're part of the community, people care about them. And you don't want your neighbor that you care about to be on the street or in trouble. You'll care about them rather than just discarding or walking by them or driving by them.
Ready? Okay. In a society, absolutely everybody should have a place to live. There's no reason why that shouldn't be possible. And in our society, where it would take actually a very small amount of money, $1 loonie a week for everybody in the Victoria region, That would cover all the housing costs and all the support costs so that everybody in our community would have a place to be and feel comfortable and have respect. And that would make a huge difference, not only to people who are on the street, but to people in business and people living in the area. We'd all be a whole bunch happier, and Victoria would be the neatest place in the world to live. Thank you.
All right, so I'm Brian, and I've been working in Prince George for the last couple of years as unlicensed property manager, working with 147 families who are in an area called the Hood, which is an area of low income welfare neighborhood with a lot of drug issues and other addiction issues involved in that neighborhood. One of the problems I've discovered in working there was that a lot of people lack the basic life skills to survive independently. The second thing I'm looking at is also offering low-income people housing that they can purchase at below market rates and then have the right to sell to other people who are in a similar situation as themselves. There's a comprehensive housing policy offered not by government but by private business to support a housing unit in a business neighborhood, or where there's 4 or 5 people in one house or one building, that would be spread out over the whole city, so that we don't have a concentration of poor people in one area.
Hi, my name is Hannah Hickley, and one time with school, me and my class, we went to our place, homeless shelter, and we went there for like 7 or 8 weeks, just helping out and serving food, making food for the homeless people there, and it was really fun. Like, we made friends to some people, and like we talked to them and stuff, and like, you know, some people that were like afraid of homeless people or something, which is crazy, but some people that were afraid, like, they got to know them, and they realized that like everybody was the same, and it was a really cool experience, and it was really nice to like go into the homeless shelter and just interact with everybody and stuff.
There's a murder in the urban morning. All the ghetto birds are squawking and are cawing. It's before the sun has even risen. Behind all the rain that is falling, homeless junkies are hanging in my alleys. They're trading drugs and the birds are watching. It's raining on a Main and Hastings zone.